Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Aphrodite, aka Madam Suave. If you are new here, I would like to welcome you to the community. Be sure to check the description box below and like, comment, share, and subscribe if you feel called to. Remember that energy is timeless and fluid. This could be past, present, or future energy. Flip roles if they need to be reversed, and only take what resonates, leaving the rest for what it's meant for. So today, I'm actually very excited for today's message, okay? It is going to be kind of brief, I'm thinking, but it is going to be very effective, okay? So today, the title of the message is Decalcifying or Opening the Third Eye from Projector to Receptor, okay? Because we were talking about, kind of a projection energy. And I was kind of talking about how that is the opposite or the reverse of basically receiving information through the third eye, right? Which is also your intuition, your sixth sense, okay? And so we're going to kind of talk about how to change that, because remember how I was saying, the projector energy is devil energy, okay? That is devil energy, which is the opposite. Like I said, devil is only opposite of God frequency, okay? And utilizing your God power. So we're going to kind of figure out how to bridge that together, okay? Seeing how we come from projector to receptor, all right? I'm trying to see if there's any other way that I want to kind of phrase and put that, but because almost, right, the devil, right, also rules restriction. Also, how they teach you to, fear the devil. And one thing I said was to fear the devil is to fear yourself, right? Because it is nothing but the lower vibration, the lower frequency of you. It is kind of like that fear talking, your fear, your insecurities, etc. talking, when you are someone who projects, okay? It's like your own fears talking to you, okay? It's like your own fears are the things that you may dislike about yourself talking to you. Now, one thing, right, because all of these chakras are interconnected within one another. So the opening of the third eye, this is something that cannot be forced, okay? It is something that you have to work your way up to. Because if you try to force the third eye open before there is preparation done, before the third eye is ready to be opened, then this causes psychosis, okay? And like I said, this is something that someone has attempted. So, and in trying to or attempting to force the third eye open, it basically set off a chain reaction to the nervous system, because your third eye is directly affected by your solar plexus, okay? Which rules the nervous system. So we're gonna kind of go ahead and get into that, okay? But sorry, I'm just gonna grab my pen just in case. I don't really need it, but just to kind of like follow along, I'm gonna use it. The way that we feel on the inside, okay, everything that we have going on the inside is going to affect how we view the outside world, okay? So this is focusing on healing the inner world to create a new outer world, right? Basically, like I said, it's kind of like, I don't know why, I kind of want to use like cleansing your palate, okay? Because it's almost like, how some things, because of past experiences, you can have, a bad taste in your mouth from something, and then it kind of ruins other things for you, other experiences for you, because you still have this bad taste in your mouth, right? So we are kind of cleansing that and kind of changing your perspective, healing your perspective so you can view things with a fresh perspective, okay? Reverting back to being able to see life through pureness, right? And pureness just means that you are seeing it for what it is and not for what you are projecting onto certain things, and without lingering effects of things that you may have previously gone through, or, just without any remnants of the past kind of lingering about, okay? Because for some of you, the only obstacle standing in your way is literally this healing that has not been complete. Or like I said, because remember we are talking about, projector is the opposite of receptor. So the devil energy, opposite of God energy, right? And so in order to, like I said, see things clearly, you have to heal things or get rid of things of the past. Like some of you have a fear of failure, right? And this is the only thing that is keeping you from success, because it's like you have all the tools necessary to succeed. So the only thing that's actually keeping you from succeeding is this belief that you have convinced yourself of, or maybe, things that people may have said to you, or the way that people may have made you felt, okay? It's kind of like in your head and keeping you from believing that you can succeed, when really it's not that you are, it's almost that you are not afraid of failing. And I don't know how to better put that, okay? Because sometimes, like I said, opposites, they all exist on a spectrum on the same line. So you could say that, your fear of failure is also fear of success, because the idea of failing is simply a figment of your imagination. Right now, I do not know how to put that into better terms, but I probably will figure something out by the time I'm done here, okay? Or by the time I watch this back. It is you against you, okay? Because when we're talking about, devil and God, that is nothing but God against himself, the lower vibration and frequency of him. So when you are thinking about this, going from projector to receptor, it is literally you against you, and you cannot defeat yourself with the same or the old version of you, right? Because if your old self already knows the way that you think, already knows the way that you move, how can you defeat yourself if you guys are basically going to be mirroring one another, right? you'll never be able to defeat yourself because you are still operating in old mechanisms or mechanics, okay, with old mechanics. So you have to use what you don't already know. You have to outsmart and shock or jumpstart your nervous system. Now, okay, obviously, I don't mean literally, okay, shock your nervous system, but by shocking your nervous system, I'm saying do something other than what you already know, right? Which is kind of giving into the fear, right? You have to shock yourself by doing something new, which is stepping out of your comfort zone, which is pushing past the fear, pushing beyond the fear, but it's also doing something new like healing, okay? Healing and not staying kind of where you feel comfortable, is not staying in your comfort zone, but pushing yourself to go further, okay? Pushing yourself to be better. So like I said, you are healing the psyche, projection, or the nervous system, okay? I was also hearing hydrotherapy. That could be relevant for someone, but also the use of water, which I'll get into here later, okay? So I was thinking of the spider web. Now the spider web, you know, not only is the spider web used to lay eggs, but also to catch prey, right? So, and this is kind of one thing that I'm thinking about. So in the spider web, you use the spider web to lay eggs and also catch prey. Now the thing about that is, because think about it, laying eggs, right, which means you are creating. That is creation, creativity, where you are trying to birth something new, right? But you have to cleanse out the old before bringing in the new. So, but also spider web, this could be like walls that you have built for protection as well as self-sabotage, okay? Because like I said, when you are projecting, sometimes, you know, in this web that you have made, created, this walls that you have built up from due to past experiences, sometimes you catch things that are not prey but actually are beneficial to you, okay? You catch things that are actually beneficial to you. These could be situations, experiences, people, okay? But it's almost like you create them to be something against you rather than for you, because you are not able to see clearly. So I am going to kind of talk about the contrasting, because when you have a healthy third eye, okay, when you have a healthy third eye, an open third eye, so this is visual processing and memory process, but you do it at a very, very rapid rate, but you retain more, okay? So it's like you are taking in a lot of information, and this is happening very, very quickly, but you retain more of it. And so what I was thinking of was like a crime board. So it's understanding how everything is linked. And to you, it may seem like, you know, everything is disordered, but it's actually very, very ordered. I don't even know how to explain it, but it's because of how you view things. Like I said, it's like a web, right? So you're understanding how everything is interconnected. So while it may not follow a linear line, it's like all the lines are pointing to one another, right? It is a continuous line. So it may not be linear, it may not follow, you know, a straight line. Yes, it may be in zigzags, but it is all following a timeline. That is not the word that I was looking for, but I'm gonna figure it out, okay? Because right now my brain is doing that thing that it be doing, okay? So energy is not chronological, and time and space moves much quicker than on Earth. So essentially you are creating a web and remembering everything because you were there, okay? So past, present, and future. This is what you are doing when I say you are kind of tapping into psychic capabilities, okay? So it is being everywhere all at once. So the focus for kind of opening the third eye and healing this projection energy is to clearing perception, okay? Or it's basically clearing perception, similar to, like I'm saying, with the third eye, right? Which is remembering things, because literally everyone has memories, okay? And one thing that I was talking about was how when you do not heal something or deal with something from the past, then you have your past self that is on a completely different timeline than you, right? So this also means that you have scattered emotions, okay? You could still be reacting to scattered emotions. So it may not be something that you are actually experiencing, but it could be something that your past self has experienced that you are re-experiencing because something was triggered, okay? Scattered emotions from different time periods. Now, the other thing that I was thinking about was honeycombs, okay? So honeycombs represent efficiency and organization, as well as balance, harmony, interconnectedness, and strength. So what I want you to do, okay, is think of each little pocket, okay, in a honeycomb, right? Because it has multiple hexagons. It has multiple hexagons within a honeycomb, okay? So each pocket is a memory which may have altered your thoughts, spirit, or confidence, as well as identity and self-expression. And I specifically talk about, you know, this could be from early childhood, etc., but everything kind of leading up from that point to now, okay? So what you want to do is remove the who and focus on you, answering the why. Now, like I said, I always get things intuitively, so there might actually be an actual term for it, but I am calling it the isolation technique, okay? So removing the who and focusing on you. So this is removing focus off of others to focus on healing the self. Eliminating outside factors and faces to focus purely on the energy and sensory processing. So not just the how, as in like not just the how, like how do you feel, but the what of the triggered response, okay? Because a lot of people, you know, they ask you, you know, how do you feel? But it's like, what was it that triggered the feeling in you, okay? That's the other question that you want to ask is the what was it? When I say what, I mean what sense. Because for some of you, you know, maybe you're in a moment and you're triggered and then it triggers a memory. So then you want to go back to that memory and figure out, you know, what part of that memory stands out, or what, yes, like what stands out in that memory, okay? So this could be taste, touch, sound, smell, or sight, all right? These are all connected to the mind and nervous system. The reason why you want to figure this out, because remember I was talking about for some of you, you know, you had a child or something that was dealing with behavioral issues or something of the sort. But the reason why I'm saying this is because this is not a situational issue, but a behavioral issue as well as neurological. So getting to the root is imperative for regaining and maintaining self-control and empowerment, no longer being ruled by the subconscious. So hypnosis could be significant. For me, what I'm thinking of is a very, very natural way of hypnosis, okay? So this is basically being taken into a relaxed state through sound, specifically with water or sand. For someone also, I don't know, this could have been something that a child was doing, or maybe someone, you know, maybe you were in therapy and this is something that they had you do, but I was specifically seeing blocks, shapes, and puzzles, okay? Because this kind of shows you like how the mind works, how you know fit shapes, how you deal with almost like under pressure, right? So I don't know, there could be like different difficulty levels, okay? But just seeing, you know, how the brain kind of organizes itself, etc. is kind of what I'm getting here. But yes, blocks, shapes, and puzzles could be significant for someone. Someone could be doing that in therapy if you have a child in therapy or something of the sort, okay? So for themes, okay, these are the things that I was kind of picking up on that some of you could either struggle with, or at least have been problems that have come up for you, etc. Things that you are working through, okay? So what I was picking up on is conflict in relationships or with being vulnerable. So this could be expression of emotions, or maybe you have trouble and you kind of push people away a lot, especially when maybe you are in a more vulnerable position, okay? Maybe you can maybe struggle with vulnerability. A lot of you guys, this is something that you have healed. So these are things that either you have healed, this could be things from your past, or this could be something that you are working to heal, or like I said, past, present, future, okay? So some of this is past, present, or future. Take it how it resonates. Difficulty accepting criticism, guidance, and help. Problems with authority because of a lack of authority within the self. So this could be like, it's almost like someone with authority. Now with authority, obviously I do not mean false authority. And what I mean by false authority is it's like, that does not mean, you know, a certain title, okay? I mean authority as in it could be felt, okay? When someone's power can be felt. So it's like someone has problems with authority because of a lack of authority within the self. So this can oftentimes feel like a threat because it's almost like they feel threatened in that moment, okay? So it feels like a perceived threat or attack due to beliefs being challenged. So what I was picking up on is very single-minded thinking or non-coexistence, or understand the interconnectedness of everything, right? So not understanding, you know, how multiple things coexist at once. So this can lead to overcompensation or argumentative, only listening to respond and not actually processing, okay? Very fragile ego. So kind of like going into survival mode, okay? The dialogue turns into monologue. So this is like someone who needs to practice active listening. This is maybe someone who talks to silence their own nervous system. So it could be more like they are talking at you, but kind of like talking to themselves. And this is essentially what you do in therapy, right? So one thing that I always say is, it's like sometimes for some people, you know, it is that they just need to kind of talk in order to process. But it can be very, very hard when someone thinks that they are having a conversation, but they're not having a conversation. They are literally having a monologue by themselves, and you're kind of just sitting there. And this is essentially what you do in therapy, okay? They just sit there and listen to you talk, and they kind of evaluate things as they are listening to you talk. But it's almost like, it's not necessarily, it's like I said, it's like reading in between the lines, and in between the lines, okay? So it's not necessarily the things that you are saying, but it's all the other questions that they're answering while you are speaking, okay? So, yeah. Whew. So, let me see, what was I gonna say? It's like I said before in one of my other videos, sometimes the problem is that you talk too much and need to learn how to listen, okay? And not just listening to respond, but listening to hear and receive, okay? So that's kind of the only thing that I have for us today. We'll see, you know, if anything else comes up, but if this message was helpful to you, if you enjoyed this message, if you like my content, my energy, my channel, etc., I do ask that you like, comment, share, and subscribe if you feel called to. And I'll see you guys next time. Love you all. Bye.